I'm Dick Cavett. Silverado, The Big Chill, they leap to mind. Oh, certainly The Fly creeps to mind. And these are all unique films, all of them having something in common, and that's the unique actor Jeff Goldblum. His latest film is called Fathers and Sons. And again, it's different from typical Hollywood, which seems to be a distinguishing mark with him. He's not your typical leading man, nor mine, nor why would he want to be. I plan to ask Jeff Goldblum, and here he is. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
Dick, very, very good to see you.
I was thanking you for being here, and then I guess you're thanking me for
thanking me
for thanking me.
yes.
Yeah. This is we've certainly started on a high level here, and I don't know.
Absolutely, we can only go down.
Maintain this. You know, I just suffered a humiliation in the lobby of the Riga Royal, which is where we're royally treated here today, about my size.
I'm sorry.
I told you before.
Yeah,
You didn't do it. A man said to me, "I thought you were taller. This is terrible. Look at you." But he didn't say it quite that nicely.
Horrible.
Now, I read about your body every time they write about you.
What's this?
Well, they always say you're gangly, and you came in quite gracefully.
Oh, yeah. Does gangly mean awkward in some way?
I don't know, but it's a word that usually is affectionate. I mean, in theater, it's a cliche that all who gangle are kind and true. So
I never heard that. It must not be a cliche enough. I never heard that. What is it? All that are gangly are?
Well, that's just one way of putting it. It just seems that if anybody gangles, you know, he's going to be a nice guy in the play or something like that. I never heard of a serial killer gangling. The words get
Tony Perkins was a little gangly and
yes,
wasn't he?
Yes, and therefore my example falls.
Well, I no.
As they say in high school debate. Mostly, do people who recognize you on the street mention one particular work, or
they don't? No. I've done a bunch of stuff, and some will say, "Oh, Into the Night, it's my favorite thing somebody did today," or Buckaroo Banzai, you know what, I like 10 Speed and Brown Shoe, or, but Fly, Fly, there's a lot of Fly stuff.
I would have thought The Fly, maybe.
I think mostly, yes.
Yeah, Big Chill, probably maybe second, or
you're right.
Alternating in first.
You're right.
There's a story, I had no idea about this, that Kevin Costner
yes.
went through what must have been one of those humiliating things that could happen to an actor making The Fly. Making The Big Chill.
He was also cut out of The Fly, too. He
was cut out of two things?
No, I'm only kidding.
Oh.
After that humiliating fall, I didn't want you to suffer another.
No, I'm just trying to thank you for helping me there.
But I couldn't, but the people would, archivists would actually be able to bear that out.
Yeah.
He was never in The Fly.
Okay, we'll add a footnote here. But what was it? First of all, to say, "Ma, I got a part in a movie." Guess what? Oh, wonderful. What are you? Well, I'm the dead body. Was that what he was going to be in?
No, not exactly.
Okay, straighten it out for me.
Oh, okay. Here's the it actually goes. He was the dead body in The Big Chill, who you see in the beginning. That was meant to be him, but the part was larger than that too.
Yeah.
Because there was a flashback originally intended and shot and cut into the first rough cut of the movie that had us all at the end of the movie in 60s stuff and back in 1968 and preparing a Thanksgiving dinner at Michigan.
So we'd have seen him alive in that.
So you see him alive. That's right.
Oh,
right.
See, I thought he not only played a corpse only, but got cut out because he wasn't good enough as the corpse.
No.
Somewhere, if you can believe anything you read these days, there's a skinhead who doesn't know that he inspired a movie. Do I have that right?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Paul Monis, the director of this movie, Fathers and Sons, opening November 6th, said he was inspired, that's right, by, and he was in Washington Square Park and saw this young 16-year-old, he assumed, I think he assumed non-fascist, I don't know why anyway, a guy who had no hair, a skinhead kid, but who was amazingly liquid in the eyes, soulful looking, sensitive, sweet, troubled, new, fresh, newborn, all that. And he went home and wrote, Max Fish sits on the porch of his house, and he's got large liquid eyes. And
that's fascinating, because I know why he said about fascists, because he said something like, although a skinhead, he did not seem to be a fascist. He seemed to be
he said, yes,
in some way, and the contrast between the skinhead and what you usually think they are.
Well, so I think you can tell political orientation, can't you, from somebody's look? Possibly.
You think you can.
Sometimes you're chillingly surprised, which is in fact the origin of the big chill. What that really means, although it has other poetic resonances, I think Larry Kasdan, who wrote it, said came out of a real experience he had at a party where he was talking to this guy seemingly full of lip and liberal of features, who came out with a remark that chilled him to his core.
Aha.
So yes, I think you're right. But on the other hand, and there are often two hands with these things, I think, in my experience, you can now, all these Republicans, seem to have a similar look.
There is a look, though, as a set of the eye and the mouth to certain parts of the political spectrum. I swear that's true, too. I've never heard anybody else say that, but I think
so.
Because it sounds, in this day of political correctness,
but you
like
can't tell a book by
offending
cover.
people.
Yeah, but no, I think political sensibility kind of goes with your something.
And I found if it says War and Peace on the cover, that's very often what the book is about. So,
absolutely.
He's always been a favorite actor of mine, and I flashed, as they say, on something. A gang violates a woman in the very opening scenes of a film, don't they? And you're one of them.
Yes.
Why can't I think of the name of it?
Death Wish.
In Death Wish, Charles Bronson's wife or daughter?
Both.
That's right.
His wife and his Hope Lang.
What, that was a shocking scene in the true sense of the word.
It was at the time, wasn't it? Brutal. It was the first movie I ever did.
I wonder if it was hard on the actors, what the atmosphere on the set is when you're doing something like that.
I had nothing to compare it to. It was the first movie I ever did. It was in 1973. I was thrilled to be doing it, and knew that it required plenty of rage and delinquent stuff, and just enjoyed it. And I tried to make the crew feel like, hey, where'd they get this? Is this one a real guy? Is this a? Because I was not a street fellow. I was born. My dad was a doctor in Pittsburgh and stuff. So, but I kind of relished this chance to. Is he the real guy? So I didn't bathe and things,
And that
I think they thought I was the real guy.
These guys seemed real, and you particularly gave me the creeps.
Thank you.
I don't know if I'd ever see you again in a dark alley.
Yeah.
Now, the you in Fathers and Sons is unrecognizable as that person.
Well, 1973, 1992, 19 years later.
And certainly taken from a different part of your psyche, I guess.
Yeah, true enough. It's a sweet movie, isn't it? It's and this part, although there are things about this father that are delinquent and misguided and invasive, and I find myself as I watch it sympathizing with the son. I'm too tough on him, and I'm not sensitive in some ways. I think because I'm tormented with this guilt of his mistreatment of the family and my former alcoholism and rage episodes, and so I'm bad with him. But finally, you're right. It's a search for the expression of love and connection between he and I, and a very nurturing sort of relationship.
And every time you hear that a crew applauded, or a crew cried, or a crew was moved in some way, it's always impressive, because you're always amazed at when you watch a movie being shot, how they're doing their jobs, and often aren't paying any attention. I don't know if it was something I read about this film.
Exactly.
Was it right to the end?
Yes, there's a scene at the end.
I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but...
No, that we claim, there's a claim, and I don't know, I was involved at the time, but they say people on the set were touched.
Yeah, when they have to turn away to not pick up on the microphone, it's nice.
Well, it's a touching situation, father and son, after having been blocked in their relationship, and finally go through a crisis together and have a very openly emotional and reconciliation.